Varied moves, spell rotation and combos. Well, you clicked on the wrong video then, didn't you? It's called the meteor nuke video. But if you want the big number go boom, do I have the build for you? We literally cannot make the number go bigger. We've hit the cap for how much damage you can do in one hit here. So follow me along.
Nature doesn't give up. My mom likes to say that there's anything you aren't prepared to do.
Then meteor. Boom. AoE 10k. Boom. Again. And boom. We have slightly more need for mana in this build, but you see, it's still
alive. Still alive.
It's quite different from the other build I made a guide on. It's pretty fun.
With you
And yeah, this is a way higher level character now. I have a lot of gear now to make use of. And I'm sadly pretty sure that this rune is bugged. It does not seem to do anything when you activate it. And the same goes for the last text on this one. I don't think that actually works currently either. It doesn't feel like it does, at least. Because this in itself is 25% resistance. And then this ring has 25% fire resistance. And I think I put, yeah, an enchantment on this. That's another 20% fire resistance. Because I thought that would be 70% extra fire damage, but that's not the case, I've noticed when I swap. Well, let's get into it. I mean, there's a lot to go through with this one, you know. There's a lot of legendary text working together here now. So, I guess we will start right here. I've tried some different variations, mostly with rings and talismans, but this feels like the best setup. These two I've never swapped on anything, so damage versus low F enemies, precision on kill, precision also increases fire damage, precision is now triggered by any fire ability. So that's just more fire damage basically. Pretty simple one, and some more low health enemy, which works with this. Set enemies are now always considered to have low health. So, yeah, you'll see that this is a very, very, very good text to have. Very good text to have. But yeah, not too much to say about this one. Like, it's not super exciting, but it's good. This weapon is really good. I think this is like the spellblade to run on literally any mage. It's just that good. Maximum mana always good. Second text is useless. Third text is decent. If you run a lot of mana, which you can actually do towards the end, you can have like 400 mana, 500 mana, something like that, I think. And the last one is just your abilities cost 50 more and deal 100% more. Huge text. Huge text. Huge text. Enchantment there doesn't really do anything. It's not that often at low health. This one though, actually, I forgot to mention. High health. And then we have this one that I kind of already went over a little bit. I'm just thinking the only thing that's really does anything there currently is the plus 15% fire damage, sadly. Because I'm 99% sure this is bugged, or it does such a small thing, it's irrelevant if it's just a little bit of flat damage on your auto attacks. That's, you know, who gives a shit. So there's another staff that I've been wanting to try. This one. Mana, regen, mana, you know, always good. But the last text here, deal 25% plus fire damage per mana spent. which I think would be better then, given how the other stuff actually seems to work. But I sadly have not found the last one for this yet, and I'm this late into the game. It's crazy. The gear system is so wonky how you find upgrades. I think this will just be a straight, way better upgrade than this one. It's, like I said, either bugged or does not work like you'd think it does. And for helmet, mana regen, stagger, plus 30% ability damage if all abilities share type, which they do. All of them are blast types. So that's 30% extra damage. We never use this spell. It's just here because it's a blast type, basically. Then you get some mana refund there, which is big. I'll let you spam a little bit more before you run out of mana. We have this one, more mana, mana regen, max mana as defense, which, you know, we actually get a little bit of defense here at least. And then after using an ability with a mana cost, gain bonus damage equal to 20% of its cost, which is also, you know, good. I don't think this one stacks though, but given our spells cost just the normal 100 in this build, then that's a 20% damage bonus. Why not? Got affliction duration on it. Oh yeah, also I have fire resistance here. I went over that earlier though. The belt, only things relevant is the plus 15% fire damage. Rest is just nothing, who cares? This one's huge. It interacts with so many things, making so everything's considered low health constantly. But you completely change how you build a lot of stuff. This one's crazy. This is just there's one for each element here that does this. So this is just the fire one. You know, nothing special. The last text there is pretty interesting. 50% all added bonus. So that lets you pick all these small, you know, plus 10 necrosis damage in the tree. That's 5% fire damage now. So this is good, and you know, it's good. Also, I forget to mention enchantments constantly, but I'm running the critical damage here, which you'll see. We always crit with this. We always crit with the spells we're running here. Blast ability, because it's blast abilities we're spamming. And then this ring, which is one I'm not 100% on, is actually the best in slot. But there are not that many useful rings for this. I'll just show you the other one. This one, I'd also want to try the mana one again. Damage increase with current mana. I think this could be really good if I get the last part there. But as of right now, no. I've also messed around with this one a little bit. Your ability damage is always a critical hit. Using an ability considers 20% of the maximum health as physical damage. This works, but I did find a better way of doing this so that you don't have to lose your health over and over. With the caveat that this doesn't affect bosses. But we get another bonus to damage instead versus bosses that works well. So this one, 50% burning duration, max burning stacks. Both are nice. Both are very nice, especially the 50% duration. Burning actually does quite a lot when you stack it up high. But all afflictions that you apply are applied as burning instead. This is the big text. As you can see there, I also got the enchantment apply bleeding on ability critical. And all my abilities are critical, like I said. So, bam. That means that just applies a burning stack there, basically. That could say apply a burning on ability critical. And as we always crit, I could say apply a burning stack on ability use. So that's really good. And as for runes, like I said, this is just the best one overall. This is just the bonus fire damage. Never activate this one. Useless activate. 10% ability damage. In theory, this would be the rune to run greatly enhanced, dealing much higher damage. It doesn't work currently. It does nothing, sadly. Sucks. So this one is the best. 50% more damage versus health for 20 seconds. And that's the thing, it's 20 seconds as well, you know? And this works. So this is really, 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 really good on anything. But yeah, for abilities, this one we actually use sometimes. Because each one applies burning, so this is good versus single target bosses. This one, like I said, is just here for the blast. This is our bread and butter. We spam this all the time. All the time. As you saw earlier, my AoE is way bigger with the talents I've picked. And I'm actually running just the basic ultimate. Because it does fire damage. Simple as that. So, but this is not super important. I mean, you use your ulti when it comes up. If nothing else, you're invulnerable when you do it, right? So, but yeah, this is the spam, 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 spam. And this we use sparingly, never this. Okay? That's it for my gear and abilities here. Let's go over to our companions and their gear. So, Bellara has actually been given a break. Even though I wish I could still run her, because I think she has the best ability of any companion. Just pulling them in and letting you nuke everything. But no, we are running Harding and Davrin for this. And Davrin's taunt is just a way shittier version of her pull, sadly. All of his other abilities are pretty bad, frankly, sadly. And this doesn't matter either. What he has going for him though is two things. He can apply fire vulnerability when you order him to attack something. Which, you know, we're doing purely fire here, so obviously very useful. And this. Detonations now deal their damage as fire. Nice for this build. But more importantly, deal 25% more fire damage for each stack of burning on a target. And currently I think I can go up to 6 burning stacks. So what's that? That's 150. That's 150% extra fire damage when we max stacked. This is why we run him primarily. That is just such a massive increase in damage. But other than that, he's quite useless, sadly. He can taunt, he can pull them in, kind of, sort of, way worse than Bellara. And he can apply fire vulnerability. But this is what we actually care about. But we're still running Harding. Her job is not quite the same anymore. Most of her gear does not matter in the slightest. Yeah, no. What she does good is, I mean, like I mentioned in the other video, this tree is very good. But what she has now is just this. She just flat gives you 20% extra damage and cooldown reduction. Always, just always on. Very good. And she can apply Sundered, which is important for this as well. So this passive and Sundered is her job now in this build. None of her gear matters, honestly. None of it matters. Here we go. There's so much to go over here, though. So let's get into it, I guess. What do we want? Some basics. Let's see. Where is one of these? Is it this? No. I don't have this one, but just in general, all of these are useful now. All of these basically say plus 5% extra fire damage. All of these are good. This one is huge for any mage build. You can't really play the game without this talent. If you're playing any... No, if you're playing a mage, you can't play the game without this talent, really. It's so weird, I think, that this is not just base, something the mages have. Being able to recharge your mana. It's just, you need this. You need this. And as we know, picking up any ability gives you 15% ability damage increase. So pick up any ability you can. Which is why I have just gone up here and picked this, for example. This is very, very good for this build. It's 10% extra damage for each enemy hit. Which we hit a lot. You saw the size of the AoE there. Here we have AoE area ability increase. And another one over here, area ability increase. Both of these combined are why the meteor is so big. But yeah, most of these things are other... Oh, there's the necrotic one I was looking for. But most of these are just to get up to this and these. Most of the things here are actually relevant. Like, you know, these are always useful. There's extra damage to barriers and armor or whatever. They're all useful. This one is very, 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 very good. 10% extra damage for each buff you have. You're gonna have a lot of buffs. You're gonna have a lot of buffs. If you scroll back and look, you saw how many buffs I had there on the left side while the fight actually got going. So this is like 40 or 50% increased damage at all times. Another big one, very big one. What have I? Oh yeah, of course I need to get here. And I have this one. Eating 3 or more enemies with any grants enhanced damage. Which is just another damage buff to yourself. So, and most of the time you will hit 3 enemies. So, very good. And this increases the duration of buffs. It's also quite nice. But like this is a bonus damage buff that you get. But it's also a buff, so it's another 10% there. See? The energy there. As we go down here, don't use this. Affliction duration, this is alright. This is nothing. This is nothing. This is just a little buff to your ability damage. You know, take it. This is nothing. Critical damage. Very good. Because, you know, we also crit. Here's the bread and butter spell. Fire damage. Affliction damage. And I don't think any of these are useful. I guess this one actually. I've just realized detonations don't actually deal that much damage themselves. Sadly. So, yeah. And this actually would be quite good. Eventually get around to getting that. What do we have over here? This. Here we are. Remember, we're all creating. It is this talent. Last ability critical hits to enemies with low health. And you remember, right? We have this on. Stand enemies are now always considered to have low health. Ergo, all of our blasting abilities always crit. That's just, you know, changes the entire game there. This talent and the amulet. You're now literally always critting against every enemy. Kinda crazy, I think, that's an interaction you can have. And what else? Blast ability 15% more damage versus barrier and armor. Yeah. It's just 50% extra damage versus that. There's its armor, and then we go, our specialization here is the electric one. We rarely use anything here. Go down here, penetration is nice, this is useless, maximum stacks, these are good. And then you have here, this is another thing that's very, very good. Applying burning now also applies shock. Applying shock also now applies burning. So how this works, if you remember our ring we have equipped, all afflictions that now apply are instead applied as burning. So what happens is, you apply burning, of course, which procs this one, which attempts to apply a shocked, but that doesn't work, so it applies another burning. There's 2 burning from this. And of course, like I said, the shocked stack gets transferred into burning with this, and this also, you know, applies bleeding on crit. We always crit. So each spell you cast, you apply 3 stacks of burning. Each spell, which is really good. So that's one of the key things in here, is getting this talent and this talent. But also, that's useless. Also this one, just blast abilities cost 50 less. This is also just a bonkers talent. Absolute bonkers talent. But that's the main 2 reasons we go down here. This one and this one is why we go down in this tree, mainly. So over here, what do we have here? Electric damage, mana restore on defeating enemy. Actually a very good talent. And a spell, which I would have liked to put on rather than this. But this is blast, this other one is not, so what can you do? Otherwise, maximum mana. Oh yeah, this one, 50% bonus damage. Bonus damage based on damage type of your staff and orb weapons. So given both our orb and staff are fire based, this is 50% bonus fire damage, basically is how it reads. This is very good. I think that's actually all of them. Yeah. But yeah, no, that's actually the entire tree, I think. But I still think this is a fun build. Just watching big number and boom, boom, boom over and over. So I would recommend it. I hope you enjoyed the Meteor Nuke build. It's fun to play. If you liked it, please like the video and subscribe and comment and, you know, the things that help me. Thank you.